Hi, I'm Miss Amber, and I wanted to talk to you today about accessibility in libraries and schools. Accessibility is a major issue in schools and libraries. As Dr. Copeland mentioned in her article, School Libraries of the 21st Century, students are facing greater challenges due to new technologies, and we as librarians have a duty to ensure that all students feel welcome and supported. More and more students are required to research online, causing them to need to read from multiple websites, and some of these websites can be difficult for students to read, especially if they have disabilities. To that end, I wanted to introduce a free resource to students called Helperbird. And so let me show you a few of the amazing features that it offers. This is a website that I wanted to read from the Library of Congress about primary sources. As a teacher, this is helpful for me, so I want to read this article and say I had a visual impairment or disability like dyslexia or some kind of thing, and this is difficult for me to read. So I would go over here to my Google extensions, or Chrome extensions, excuse me, and I would click on Helperbird. And it opens up this menu here on the side. You can turn it on, turn it off here. The free features are available, all of these ones that do not have the little red diamond. The little red diamond is with Helperbird Pro, which is an extension that you can buy. But I'm going to show you a few of the free features, and then there's tutorials that you can access other things, but just wanted to show you some of my favorite things. So for example, the reading options. Say I have dyslexia and this is difficult for me to read. I could go in here to the fonts and I could find the dyslexia font, the Open Dyslexic, and it would change it to the dyslexia font. And then I could go down to the text size, say this is a little bit too small for me, I want to make it a little bit bigger, and that would change the size of the font on the whole website. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Okay. And then say, okay, so these lines are still really close together. It's a little hard for me to see that. So I could widen, oh, sorry, I did letter spacing. But you see how that works too, is pretty neat. But then the lines, you can also put a little bit more space in between the lines. And say that's still a little difficult for me to see. I could say, oh, I prefer a black background when I read, and the words to be something highly contrasting like white. And then that's easier for me to read in a darker setting, or you could just leave that the way it was. So that would change the font, the text, how it's all shown to you. And then in addition to that, you could go down here to the dyslexia tools, and you could put tints over the website. I could make it kind of bluish if that makes it easier for me to see. You can change how bright or dark that is over your font. And then you could also go down here to the dyslexia ruler, which I think this is a really neat feature. You can highlight the part that you want to read, like that. Or you could do a focus ruler, which highlights everything, and then it makes just your part that you want to read very clear, where everything else is a little bit blurred with the color. And that really helps you focus. You can change the settings on that to make it a little wider or brighter. So if I wanted that to be like a bigger bar so I could easily see all of that, I could do all of that, which is really great. Helperbird also has some really great features like text-to-speech, and yeah, they just have so many features that are still free, but you could even pay for the service. So the way that you get this service is you just go to helperbird.com, and over here for your pricing areas, it can show you how to get Helperbird Pro, or for your entire school, if you want all your kids to have access to it, this is the annual price. But if you just want to give your kids the free tools, then you could just go, Helperbird is free, so you could download it here, and whichever service that they use, I use Chrome, so I would do the Chrome extension. I would add it to Chrome and just add the extension, and it'll pop up right over here. So now when I click on this, Helperbird is right here, and I can use it just the way I just showed you how to do it. If you want to see all the features they have available, just go to Helperbird tutorials, and they have all the tutorials here on how to use all of the features of Helperbird. And so I highly recommend checking it out and see if it'll help your students. I appreciate you listening. Thanks.